Chapter 991. The heartless Jiang Ming, when he left Zhao Zhua's dormitory, suddenly felt a little guilty for him. He thinks that people like Zhao Zhua, although hateful, are really pitiful. He is an orphan without a father and no mother. After so many years of hard work, he hasn't come up with anything. In the end, he found a girlfriend. If he knew that his girlfriend was enjoying herself under other men when his girlfriend called and scolded him, what kind of mood would he be in? Moreover, he just emptied all of his wealth. He was also given a loan of more than 500,000, all of which were usury without exception. It is estimated that in a week, he will have to pay back at least 1 million. It is estimated that after a month, he will have at least several million. By that time, he might be desperate, right? However, he is also a mud bodhisattva crossing the river, and he cannot protect himself. No way, if one of the two people must die, he hopes that the other person will die. Moreover, he hasn't gone ashore yet. If you want to go ashore, at least you have to get hundreds of thousands more. Thinking of this, he no longer sympathized with Zhao Zhua. Regardless of him, let's live alive. At this moment, at the dining table of the Hyatt Hotel, Jiang Ming has become the target of the thousands. Even the few followers before him all hated him one by one. While everyone looked down on Jiang Ming, they admired Charlie very much. After all, he can donate 1 million to the orphanage at his fingertips, certainly not just 1 million. Everyone realized that they had looked down on Charlie before. In order to curry favor with Charlie, many people kept saying kind words, toasting him, complimenting him, and even kneeling and licking him. Charlie didn't have any arrogance, but he was not too humble. He always maintained a calm mentality, which made people feel a little unpredictable. Darren Zhao has been waiting for everyone to finish Charlie's praise. He picked up a glass of wine and said seriously,
"Charlie, thank you for all this for the orphanage. I toast you a glass."
Charlie looked at him and nodded gently. Chapter 992. Apart from Xiaofan and Aunt Lena, Darren Zhao was the first person to toast to him because he had donated money to the orphanage. Those other people, they toast to him, not because he donated money to the orphanage, but because they find that he seemed to be rich. These are two completely different starting points. Those who rush to the orphanage to toast are those who really care about the orphanage. Those who rush to the orphanage to toast are all hoping to have a relationship with him. After all, for these friends, it is certainly not easy to donate 1 million to the orphanage at will, and it has far exceeded their cognition. Charlie and Darren Zhao drank a glass of wine, and Darren Zhao sighed sincerely.
"Charlie, I am really pleased to see that you can have today. I felt that you are different from each of us, and knowing why, I thought you were great at that time, and I thought you would be promising in the future. I didn't expect you to be so generous."
Charlie smiled indifferently, and said,
"When we two slept on the construction site together, we were very happy to have enough food every day. We were paid every month. We two of us could have extravagance and buy 2 side dishes. I had a few bottles of beer and a drink in the shed on the construction site. In my opinion, it is already a great satisfaction."
After a pause, Charlie said again,
"Because of that experience, I don't have too much material requirements now. Eat better, dress better, use better, live better. In fact, it really doesn't make much sense to me."
Darren Zhao nodded earnestly and said,
"Brother, I understand what you say. We two worked together in the same job back then, but I saved up all the money I earned. I hope that I will be able to turn over as the capital of the salted fish in the future. All the money you earned was donated to the orphanage. At that time, I felt that I might not be as good as you in my life, because your situation is much bigger than mine."
After all, Darren Zhao sighed softly and laughed at himself.
"Facts have proved that I am really nothing,"
Charlie said solemnly.
"Brother, don't be arrogant at any time. As long as you can do it, you are worthy of the world, worthy of your conscience, worthy of yourself, even if your material life is not so good, you are a very happy person.
As he said again.
Look at this world, how many wealthy people have made their homes by doing bad things, and how many people who have no money are deliberately thinking about stealing, robbing, cheating, and occupying some from others. One thing, there are too few people who can do no harm.
Claire silently listened to Charlie's words, and suddenly felt that her image of her husband had become radiant at this moment and in her own mind. From his donation to the orphanage, to the moment he said such a statement, she was impressed. Darren Zhao drank a little wine and was a little bit on his head, so he was also a little impulsive at this time. He held Charlie's hand and said with red eyes,
Charlie, I have been muddled for more than 20 years. Today you made me understand. I thought I shouldn't have left at the beginning. I went to Haicheng because I always thought in my heart that I would stand up, make a fortune, and become a master. In the past few years, I have never thought about giving back and raising. The orphanage I grew up, looking back now, I really feel guilty.
Charlie smiled slightly.
Darren Zhao, people must first take care of themselves, and then take care of the world. If you can't take care of yourself, I don't want you to donate your limited money to the orphanage, so you must take care of yourself first. We are all suffering. Days come, and there is no family, no dependents, only one can rely on. At this time, you must be nice to yourself and let yourself live well first.
Darren Zhao burst into tears and choked up.
Why don't you do it yourself when you persuade me so? I know, when Aunt Lena was sick, you gave all the money you could find to Aunt Lena, that at that time, why didn't you want to let yourself live better first?
Charlie said awkwardly.
We are in different situations after all. I am married, but you are not.
After speaking, Charlie took Claire's hand and said to Darren Zhao,
All Oris Hill knows that I am a famous soft rice king. I eat my wife's, drink my wife's, and use my wife's money for everything. I live with my wife and have such a good wife. I don't need to spend a penny, and I can eat and wear warmth. In this case, it's useless to ask for money.
Claire was suddenly held by Charlie, and suddenly some deer bumped into her. After listening to what Charlie said, she was extremely moved. She felt that at this moment, she had a little more understanding of her husband. But at the same time, she also felt that at this moment, she was a little stranger to her husband. Once upon a time, she thought that her husband was hopeless and ambitious, just a useless person who didn't dare to fight back after being scolded and beaten. But now, she felt that her husband seemed to be far more profound than the one she imagined. Chapter 993. When Darren Zhao saw Charlie holding Claire's hand, he showed his affection, and he felt gratified for his good brother. So he hurriedly poured another glass of wine and said,
Come on, Charlie, good brother, I will toast you to a glass. I wish you better and better relationship, and hope you give birth to an early son.
Claire blushed all of a sudden, and she felt ashamed when he talked about having an early son. Charlie said with a smile on his face,
Thank you, brother, I will work hard.
Claire was even more shy. She held one hand, put the other hand under the table, and pinched hard on the inside of his thigh. Charlie grinned in pain, but didn't dare to scream, so he hurriedly picked up the wineglass and said to Darren Zhao,
Come on, do it.
After a glass of wine, Charlie suddenly remembered that Darren Zhao was working in Haicheng, and asked,
By the way, Darren Zhao, which company in Haicheng do you work for now? What industry is it? What is your position?
Darren Zhao explained,
I work in a company specializing in the production of lighting equipment in Haicheng. The main position is a salesperson. Our company is under the Tai Lai Group. Tai Lai Group.
Charlie frowned and asked.
The boss of the Tai Lai Group should be Tai Lai, the richest man in Haicheng, right?
Darren Zhao nodded and said with a smile.
You also know Tai Lai.
Charlie smiled and said.
More than knowing, I have seen him. Really?
Darren Zhao said in surprise.
I usually miss the end of the dragon. Only the people from the group headquarters have the opportunity to see him. People from small zonal ones like us have no chance to see him. Chairman Tai Lai.
In Haicheng, Tai Lai was basically a native emperor, and he had many companies and industries. The lighting equipment company where Darren Zhao works is actually just a small industry under Tai Lai, let alone Darren Zhao. Even the person in charge of their lighting equipment company did not have the opportunity to see Tai Lai several times. Therefore, Darren Zhao felt very shocked and curious about Charlie's meeting with Tai Lai. So he asked.
Charlie, how did you meet our chairman?
Charlie smiled and said.
A friend had a party before, and I went to attend it. I happened to see him and he was there.
The first time Charlie saw Tai Lai, Warnia invited him to look at a piece of jade. At that time, Tai Lai also had ideas about the piece of jade, and even brought a master to give him a long eye. As a result, the scam was seen through by him. Later, in Oris Hill, Tai Lai also went. Although he had no friendship with him, he had always treated him respectfully. After all, he is the supreme Nanguang Supreme in the eyes of those metaphysical circles. Since Darren Zhao works in a company under Tai Lai, he still has to help him if he can. So Charlie said to Darren Zhao.
Well, let me call Tai Lai and let him arrange a new job for you. What? Do you know Chairman?
Darren Zhao looked at Charlie in shock. He thought that Charlie had just a chance to meet Chairman Tai Lai at a party, but 80% of them had no chance to cultivate friendship with the chairman. It's not that he despises his brothers. The key is that Chairman's status is noble. After all, he is the richest man in Haicheng. In his eyes, he is really unattainable. Others couldn't help being shocked when they heard Charlie's words. Everyone has heard of Tai Lai, the richest man in Haicheng. Although he is not as powerful as the Song family, he is at least a super rich man worth several tens of billions. Unexpectedly, Charlie would know such a big man. Chapter 994. If it were placed half an hour ago, everyone would think Charlie was bragging. But now, everyone felt that since Charlie said so, then this matter is likely to be true. Charlie smiled indifferently at this time and said to Darren Zhao.
Although I don't have much friendship with him, Chairman Tai Lai is an acquaintances after all. I believe he will give me a bit of face after all.
Having said that, he immediately took out his cell phone, found Tai Lai's number, and called him directly. After a while, the call was connected. Tai Lai on the other end of the phone said in surprise.
Mr. Wade, why are you free to call me?
Charlie smiled lightly and said.
Chairman, you and I haven't seen each other for some time.
Tai Lai hurriedly said.
Oh, I haven't been to Oris Hill during this time. Otherwise, I must say hello to Mr. Wade.
Charlie smiled slightly and said.
Chairman don't need to be so polite. Actually, I called today for something. I want to ask you.
A table of people held their breath and looked at Charlie, looking forward to witnessing the miracle moment. Because almost everyone is an orphan, let alone a richest man with a worth of tens of billions, even an ordinary rich man with a worth of more than 10 million will have no chance to meet. At this time, Tai Lai hurriedly said.
Mr. Wade, if you have anything you want, I will go all out.
Charlie said.
I have a buddy who grew up together with me. I just learned today that he actually works in a company under your industry, Chairman, so I want to trouble you. Can you arrange for him a future work?
Tai Lai was shocked. He never dreamed that Mr. Wade's good brother would actually work in his own company. So he hurriedly asked.
Mr. Wade, what is your brother's name? Which company does he work for? Could you please tell me? I will call now to arrange for personnel transfer, and directly transfer your good brother come to the headquarters of our group.
Charlie said.
My buddy is called Darren Zhao. He works in a lighting equipment company under your name.
Tai Lai hurriedly said.
Mr. Wade, wait a minute, I'll call and ask now.
After hanging up the phone, Tai Lai immediately called his secretary, asking him to verify Darren Zhao's identity in the shortest possible time. When the secretary reported to him that the lighting equipment company did have this person, Tai Lai was delighted. In fact, he has long wanted to find a chance to get close to Charlie, but he has been suffering from no chance. After all, Mr. Wade is a real dragon in the world, and in Oris Hill, who is awesome, can't play a face-to-face in front of him. Moreover, even a large family like the Song family treats Charlie with respect, so he also knows he actually have no chance. However, he never dreamed that this opportunity would suddenly fall from the sky. Mr. Wade's good brother actually worked in his own company. Isn't this a godsend opportunity? So he immediately called Charlie back and asked,
Mr. Wade, I want to transfer your brother to the headquarters to be my assistant. The annual salary is 1 million, oh no, 2 million. I don't know. Are you satisfied?
Charlie knew that for Tai Lai, the annual salary of 2 million was a drop in the bucket. However, for Darren Zhao, it would be less than 10 or 20 years of struggle, and it may not even reach such a height in his lifetime. He hummed with satisfaction, and said,
Then this matter will be hard for you, Chairman. It is best to send a notice to my brother now, so that he can be happy sooner.
Tai Lai didn't dare to refuse, and respectfully said,
Mr. Wade, please rest assured, I will let the manager send him an employment notice.
Chapter 995. After Charlie hung up Tai Lai's call, he said to Darren Zhao in front of him,
I have already greeted your chairman, and he said he wants to transfer you to the headquarters to be his assistant.
Darren Zhao, including the entire table of friends, were all stunned. Everyone has heard of Tai Lai's name, but he is a super rich man worth over 10 billion. It is definitely not an ordinary job to be an assistant to a super rich person worth more than 10 billion. It is impossible for ordinary people to have a chance. At the very least, you have to graduate with a PhD from a prestigious university, or even have similar work experience in many large companies, to be considered by a rich man like Tai Lai. Everyone knew exactly what happened to Darren Zhao. He and Charlie were all just graduated from high school at the beginning, because the orphanage only took them until they were 18 years old. At that time, after they finished high school and graduated, they went straight to work in society. Charlie is a little better than him, because in order to let him cultivate a relationship with Claire, Mr. Wilson sent him to Oris Hill University to study for a year. However, Darren Zhao has been working since he was 18 years old, working on construction sites for a few years, and then went to Haicheng to TOS for a few years. To put it bluntly, Darren Zhao's situation is no different from the uncles of migrant workers who work on the construction site. The only difference is that he is a little younger. So such a person suddenly wants to work as an assistant for the super rich man. No matter how he hears it, it feels very magical. Darren Zhao himself didn't believe it either. Not only did he not believe it, but he also felt that he was not capable of being an assistant to the chairman. Being able to be a team leader in your own company already burns high incense. But at this moment, Darren Zhao's phone rang suddenly. Darren Zhao saw that it was an unfamiliar number, so he put on the phone and asked,
Hello, who may I ask?
The other party immediately said,
Hello, is it Mr. Darren Zhao? I am the personnel director of our Tai Lai group. I am calling you to inform you that you have now been transferred to the head office to serve as Chairman Tai Lai's assistant. Chairman Tai Lai will give you 1 week to prepare, then you can report directly to the head office.
Darren Zhao was stunned and blurted out,
Are you kidding me? Are you really asking me to be Chairman Tai Lai's assistant? I haven't even gone to university.
The other party smiled and said,
Chairman Tai Lai specifically explained that no matter what your academic qualifications, you will be allowed to do this position, and you will not be required to have any skills, as long as you can drive. It does not matter if you can even drive. The company can pay you to sign up for training.
Darren Zhao hurriedly said,
I have a driver's license. I have been taking the driver's license test for more than 3 years. I drove a taxi in Haicheng for a while.
The other party smiled and said,
That's good. You can help Chairman Tai Lai drive first. If Chairman Tai Lai needs you to do anything, he will tell you then.
After speaking, the other party said,
By the way, your salary is 2 million per year, which is the basic salary, not including year-end bonuses and commissions. How much?
Darren Zhao was struck by lightning. He thought that his ears had a problem. How could it be possible for 2 million a year? At his current level, he can earn 100,000 a year, which is very impressive. Even in the best dream he have ever had, he has not reached the level of an annual salary of 2 million. Seeing that Darren Zhao didn't seem to hear him clearly, the other party repeated it earnestly and said,
Mr. Zhao, your basic salary is 2 million a year.
Darren Zhao shivered with fright, and blurted out,
2 million a year is too much.